The entertainment industry has always fascinated people worldwide. Celebrities rise to stardom, becoming influential figures in pop culture. But what many don't realize is that a surprising number of these celebrities actually started out in the church. They grew up with a Christian foundation, only to later transition into the glitz and glamour of Hollywood.
I swear I wanted to be like the Amy Grant of music, but it didn't work out, and so I sold my soul to the devil.
If you lose that soul, you have lost out with God throughout eternity.
Those words have echoed through time, serving as a chilling reminder of the choices some have made in pursuit of fame. Because the truth is, if you lose your soul, you've lost everything. And eternity? It's a long time to be wrong. In this video, we're diving deep into the journeys of celebrities who started with a Christian foundation, but later drifted into the world of entertainment. We'll uncover their early years in the church, the moments that reshaped their paths, and the difficult choices that led them away from their faith. Take Rema, for example. He wasn't always the global superstar we know today. Before the fame, before the flashing lights, and sold-out concerts, he was just a young boy with a voice that echoed through the church walls. His early music was deeply rooted in faith songs of worship, devotion, and purpose. His talent was undeniable, and many believed he was destined to spread the gospel through his music. But then, something changed. The music industry came calling, and with it, the allure of success, influence, and wealth. Like so many before him, Rema found himself at a crossroads: continue down the path of gospel music, or step into the secular world, where the audience was larger and the rewards seemingly greater. What made him take that leap? And what does his journey tell us about the struggle between faith and fame? Stay with us as we break it all down.
I was a gospel artist. That's what really made me get into music. I come from a family that's very religious, so my mom was really huge on that, my dad too.
Good morning, church. I remember many years ago performing on this stage at Radio Hour, actually. Firstly, I want to give thanks to God for everything He has done for my life, for my family, took us from grass to grace.
But success in the gospel scene opened new doors for Rema, tempting him to explore different sounds and audiences. What started as a passion for faith-driven music soon led him into the world of mainstream entertainment. The beats changed, the lyrics shifted, and before long, his Christian foundation seemed like a distant memory. Was it the industry's influence? The promise of a bigger stage? Or just the natural evolution of an artist seeking his own voice? Whatever the reason, Rema's transition marked a turning point, one that many gospel artists before him have also faced. And then there's Justin Bieber, a name almost synonymous with fame itself. But his story? It's a roller coaster of faith, fame, and redemption. Raised in a Christian household, his mother, Patty Millett, was more than just a parent. She was his spiritual guide. She prayed over him, taught him about Jesus, and instilled in him the values of faith. But when fame comes knocking, it rarely knocks gently. Bieber's rise to stardom was meteoric. One viral video turned into record deals, world tours, and millions of screaming fans. Yet, beneath the glitz and glamour, the pressures of fame began to take their toll. The temptations of Hollywood, the relentless scrutiny, and the weight of the world's expectations led him down a dark path, one filled with reckless behavior, addiction, and moments of deep regret. Was he too young to handle it? Was faith not enough to keep him grounded? Or was he simply another soul caught in the storm of stardom? The journey wasn't over for Bieber, though, and his story took a turn that few expected. Keep watching as we dive deeper into the battle between faith and fame.
There was so many weird Christians that I came across that were just like, I don't think I want to be a Christian. And then I got to a point where I was Like, I was so lost. I'm like, let me try to revisit my faith. And so it's like, I had faith about like, oh, I believe Jesus died on the cross for me, but I never really implemented it into my life. I never like was like, I'm gonna be obedient. So I was like, I wasn't sleeping around. I wasn't doing a lot of stuff. I just was kind of by myself, you know. I'd had really bad examples of Christians in my life who would say one thing and do another. So they were my direct example of who Jesus was.
That's why you didn't take it seriously.
I didn't take it as seriously because I didn't have good examples.
Good role models.
Yeah, and so I think the more I really looked at the character of who Jesus really was.
Did you grow up in a Christian household?
I grew up in a Christian household, yeah.
Katy Perry, a gospel singer who chose the spotlight. Before the world knew her as Katy Perry, she was Catherine Hudson, a preacher's daughter with a voice meant for worship. At just 15, she released a Christian album, pouring her heart into songs that reflected her faith. Her life revolved around church, prayer, and spreading the gospel through music. For a time, it seemed like she was walking the path set before her. But the music industry has a way of reshaping dreams. As she pursued her career, doors in the gospel world remained closed, while the secular industry welcomed her with open arms. The shift wasn't immediate, but slowly, she began stepping away from her Christian roots. Her lyrics changed, her image evolved, and soon, she was known for bold, unapologetic pop anthems rather than worship songs. Katy has openly spoken about her struggles with her Christian upbringing. In interviews, she's admitted to wrestling with faith, questioning beliefs she once held dear. While she doesn't fully reject spirituality, she no longer identifies with the strict religious framework of her childhood. But here's the deeper issue: why do so many, like Katy, feel alienated from the church? Her words highlight a painful truth. When faith becomes more about judgment than love, people walk away. When the church no longer feels like a place of grace and redemption, many begin searching elsewhere. Was it fame that pulled her away, or was it something deeper? Was she running toward success, or away from something that no longer felt like home? Her journey, like so many others, forces us to ask, how can the church embrace those who are struggling instead of pushing them out?
I released a gospel record when I was 15 because I grew up in a household where all I ever did was listen to gospel music, and my parents are both traveling ministers, and so I kind of sang about what was going on in my life at 15, and that's how I got introduced to the music industry. I swear I wanted to be like the Amy Grant of music, but it didn't work out, and so I sold my soul to the devil.
Her words shine a light on a painful reality. When the church becomes a place of judgment rather than love, people feel alienated, wounded, and eventually pushed away. Instead of being a sanctuary for the broken, it sometimes turns into a courtroom where people feel they are on trial for their imperfections. And when love is absent, faith can start to wither. The Hollywood influence. Why so many walk away from faith? It's a story we've seen time and time again. Someone raised in the church, deeply rooted in Christian values, makes their way into Hollywood, only to eventually distance themselves from their faith. But why does this happen so often? The allure of fame and fortune. Hollywood offers a level of influence that can shape culture worldwide. But what is the cost of that influence? Many who enter the entertainment industry find themselves consumed by the pursuit of fame, slowly replacing their relationship with God with a relentless drive for success. What begins as a passion turns into an obsession, and soon, faith becomes an afterthought. Materialism and worldly pleasures. The industry thrives on excess luxury cars, extravagant parties, endless indulgences. Celebrities are constantly exposed to a lifestyle that glorifies wealth and pleasure, often at the expense of spiritual fulfillment. Many get caught up in the cycle of seeking more money, more status, more validation, until they no longer recognize the person they've become. Industry pressures, compromising beliefs. Hollywood is not a place that readily embraces Christian values. Celebrities who stand firm in their faith often face ridicule, rejection, and even career consequences. The pressure to conform, to accept roles that contradict their beliefs, to remain silent about moral convictions, can feel overwhelming. Eventually, some begin to compromise little by little until their faith is unrecognizable, diluted by the demands of an industry that does not align with biblical principles. Lack of privacy and isolation. Fame may bring admiration, but it also brings loneliness. Constant scrutiny from the media and the public can strip a person of their sense of identity. Many find themselves drowning in expectations, living a life curated for cameras while feeling empty inside. Without strong spiritual grounding, the pressures of the industry can leave them searching for meaning in all the wrong places. The Bible warns us in Mark 8:36, "For what shall it profit a man if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul?" The danger of idolatry, celebrities as modern-day gods. In today's culture, celebrities are not just admired, they are worshipped. Millions follow their every move, imitate their lifestyles, and hang on to their words as if they were divine truth. Social media has turned entertainers into global influencers with fan bases that are more devoted than some religious congregations. But Scripture is clear: idolatry is dangerous. The moment we begin elevating man above God, we have lost our way. Whether it's a pop star, an actor, or a social media influencer, no human should ever take the place of the Creator in our hearts. The question remains, how do we, as believers, stay rooted in faith when the world is constantly pulling us away? The answer lies in seeking God daily, remaining in His Word, and remembering that no amount of fame or fortune can ever compare to the peace and fulfillment found in Christ.
With a lot of born-again Christian beliefs, it was like just do as I say, no ifs, ands, or buts. And I just always, I have so many questions. I ask all the questions in the world, and all the questions in the world have gotten me to where I'm at now. The curiosity sometimes it wasn't allowed because you had to have faith. I used to sing this song in church called "Come As You Are." And I feel like sometimes the church does more judging than loving. And that's why it doesn't feel safe for me sometimes.
Okay.
And if I was to come as I am, how would I be accepted? Because this is who I am, you know? I think my mom understands that even more so now than ever. But less judgment, more compassion. More come as you are. I know that God has His hand on me. And I know that sometimes I go through things and I think they're just too intense. I can't handle them. And then He swoops in and He shows me that it's His grace that brings me through it.
If you lose that soul, you have lost out with God throughout eternity. Viewers, Satan, through entertainment, through Hollywood, through preachers, through celebrities, have brought all of this rubbish, pollution to them, become good.
That's right.
They call evil good.
In the book of Isaiah chapter 5 and at verse 20.
The book of Isaiah
Chapter 5 and at verse 20.
Listen.
Woe unto them.
Do you hear this?
Woe.
Give chapter and verse again.
Isaiah chapter 5 and at verse 20.
Woe unto them
that call evil good and good evil.
Do you hear this?
Fame, fortune, influence. Hollywood promises the world, but at what cost? Some of the biggest stars we know today started their journeys in the church, rooted in faith, only to find themselves at a crossroads between their beliefs and the bright lights of the entertainment industry. Their stories serve as a powerful reminder that no amount of success can fill the void left by a lost soul. Chris Pratt, from evangelist to movie star. Chris Pratt, known for his blockbuster roles in Guardians of the Galaxy and Jurassic World, grew up in a devout Christian family. His faith wasn't just a side note in his life, it shaped him. Before making it big, Pratt worked as a door-to-door evangelist, sharing the gospel with strangers. Even as he rose to fame, he remained vocal about his faith, often expressing gratitude to God in interviews and award speeches. But fame comes with challenges, and Pratt has faced his fair share of criticism for his beliefs. Some have accused him of being too outspoken, while others have questioned his affiliations with certain churches. Through it all, he continues to hold on to his faith, proving that staying true to one's beliefs in Hollywood isn't easy, but it's possible. Selena Gomez, a private journey of faith. Selena Gomez is more than just an actress, singer, and producer. She's a cultural icon. Rising to fame as a Disney Channel star, she was raised in a Christian household and often spoke about her love for God. But as she transitioned into adulthood, fame brought its own set of struggles. Personal battles, heartbreak, and mental health challenges made her faith journey more private. Unlike some, she never completely walked away from Christianity, but her relationship with God became something more intimate, less about public declarations and more about personal devotion. Even today, she openly credits prayer and faith as sources of strength in her life. Megan Fox, wrestling with religion. Megan Fox's story is one of transformation. As a child, she attended a Pentecostal church and was immersed in a deeply religious environment. But Hollywood had other plans. Her rise to fame came with a new identity, one that seemed far removed from her church upbringing. Known for her bold and provocative roles, Fox stepped away from the religious structure she once knew. However, she has never completely rejected God. In interviews, she's spoken about her belief in a higher power and her ongoing spiritual journey. Her story highlights a truth many can relate to: faith isn't always a straight path, and sometimes we wrestle with what we were taught as we search for what we truly believe. The journey from a Christian upbringing to the glitz and glamour of Hollywood is not uncommon. But why does it happen? 1. The allure of fame and fortune. Hollywood offers something few can resist: global recognition, wealth, and influence. But with that comes a shift in priorities. The pursuit of success can overshadow spiritual values, making faith seem less important or even restrictive. 2. The culture of excess. The entertainment industry thrives on luxury, indulgence, and excess. Lavish lifestyles, endless parties, and material wealth can distract from spiritual principles that emphasize simplicity and humility. 3. The pressure to conform. Many celebrities feel the pressure to fit into industry standards, whether it's changing their image, compromising their values, or endorsing certain beliefs to stay relevant. Hollywood often rewards those who go with the flow, making it difficult to stand firm in faith. 4. Lack of privacy and time for reflection. Fame comes at a cost. The constant spotlight leaves little room for deep introspection or spiritual nourishment. With packed schedules, endless demands, and the need to constantly reinvent themselves, many find their faith slipping into the background. 5. Exploring alternative beliefs. Some celebrities seek spiritual fulfillment outside of traditional Christianity. Whether influenced by peers, mentors, or personal experiences, they explore different philosophies and worldviews, sometimes leaving their faith behind entirely. The Bible speaks clearly about the dangers of pursuing the world at the cost of one's soul. Mark 8:36 says, "For what shall it profit a man if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul?" No amount of fame, fortune, or admiration can replace the peace that comes from a relationship with God. The illusion of success is fleeting. One day, the world praises you, and the next, it forgets you. But eternity? That lasts forever. Celebrities are often placed on pedestals, admired and imitated by millions. But when admiration turns into idolatry, it leads people away from God. The Bible warns against placing anything or anyone above Him. Exodus 20:3 states, "Thou shalt have no other gods before me." Hollywood has created a culture where fame itself becomes a god. The pursuit of status, wealth, and influence can lead to moral compromises, loss of identity, and spiritual emptiness. Many celebrities, despite their success, struggle with loneliness, depression, and anxiety. Their social circles are often filled with people who see them as business opportunities rather than genuine friends. The weight of public scrutiny, unrealistic expectations, and the pressure to maintain an image can be mentally and emotionally exhausting. At the end of the day, what truly matters? Wealth fades. Popularity dies. But our souls? They live forever. Success isn't inherently wrong, but when it comes at the cost of one's soul, it's a dangerous trade-off. Celebrities and all of us must seek balance, prioritizing faith over fleeting pleasures. The Bible's warning is clear. Gaining the world means nothing if, in the process, we lose ourselves. Let's pray for those in positions of influence, that they may find their way back to God and use their platforms for His glory. If this message resonated with you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a new video. Thank you for watching, and may we all continue striving to please God in everything we do.